Hello, and welcome once again to the Dental Marketing Mastery Series. This podcast is brought to you by dentalwebcontent.com and New Patients Incorporated. I'm Howie Horrocks, the founder of New Patients Incorporated. Along with me once again is my friend and partner and the president of New Patients Incorporated, Mark Dilatush. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of our podcast. And once again, we're here with our good buddy, my good buddy, Mark Dilatush. How you doing, Mark?
Hey, Howie. Good. Just got back from the Get It Done meeting with you and Lee. And yes, you had to go to Minnesota for 3 days, but you survived. I'm quite proud of you.
I'm sitting on you're sitting next to a guy on the plane. We're leaving Vegas, and it's 89 degrees, and I tell him the weather in Minneapolis is like 8 degrees, and I go, well, why are we leaving?
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a good meeting. It was fun.
It was. For those listening, if you see a Get It Done meeting in your area, good friend of ours, Brian Laskin, puts them on. They're designed to get all of your requirements, your CEs, your things like HIPAA, your certifications. It's designed to get all of those things done in one shot in one day, so that you're not dealing with them, all throughout the whole year with various team members. So it was well attended, and it was very well received. The doctors were like, "Yeah, I can't believe I just got all that done in one day." Yeah, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
So that was good. That was good.
It was appropriately titled.
Yes.
Well, today I think what we want to do is dive into our mailbag.
Mailbag.
Our electronic mailbag.
Or electronic mailbag, otherwise known as Josh.
Yeah.
So Josh, well, no, we got some of these on the chat too. But okay, so we try to organize your questions. I mean, we have our own topics that we title and put out there. So every once in a while in our podcast, we're going to grab some questions that come in, and we're going to call them mailbag or miscellaneous, or even miscellaneous mailbag, whatever. And then you'll know in the title what it is, and you can listen or choose not to listen. But we have 4 topics or 4 questions that came in. One is, how do I defend against illegitimate online reviews? That's a
very good question, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know how many times doctors have asked me that, right, directly. So I might as well answer it for a lot of them at a time. I think my mail is wearing out. I mail through Clipper magazine locally. Is all mail dead? That's a good question.
That's the second question. Okay.
That's the second question, right? Question number 3 is, how many times should I email my own patients? I don't want to be a spammer.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
That's a good question. And this fourth one, actually, I guess some folks on our team are, I think they're running their mouth a little bit. Anyway, the fourth question is, what the heck is going on at the ADA convention? Your staff is all excited about it. So that's the fourth question.
Okay.
So, all right. So let's go back to question number 1 is, how do I defend against illegitimate online reviews? And all right. So I got to take part of this is marketing, part of it's practice management. Actually, part of it's common sense. It's like there's 150%, to the answer. So let me take the technical side first. Technically, we know that the surfer, when they see a 5.0 review score, they question the validity of the reviews. They think that you got your whole extended family to leave a review of how great you are. Nobody believes, or hardly anybody believes, a 5.0 review. So if you get a couple of negative reviews along the way, don't sweat it.
Yeah.
if you're,
nobody can be that perfect.
yeah. And
People
come
know
on,
that.
we're not perfect. You're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Yeah. And Howie's right. People know that. And definitely dental consumers, and certainly dental consumers in the top half of the dental market know that. So if it's only one or two, just don't sweat it. Just chalk it up. Right. And a rating, a Google rating, 4.6 to 4.8. I mean, that's your sweet spot. 4.9, you're starting to get a little unbelievable. 4.3 and 4.4, you're getting kind of, I don't know, maybe I'll click on that and look for the people who were complaining about you, right? So 4.6 to 4.8, that's your sweet spot. That's where you want to be. But, obviously there's people out there, there's dentists out there who receive illegitimate online reviews from all over the place. They kids, ex-husbands, ex-wives. I mean, or what the hell? They're, girlfriends or boyfriends, or, it doesn't, anybody.
Or just mean people who have nothing better to do than to, destroy somebody's online reputation.
Yeah, just mean-spirited people. So I know some dentists who have were on the bad end of that kind of activity for political reasons. So it happens. The first way you defend against it is to make sure that your great positive reviews outweigh any negative reviews. So if you have one or two negative reviews, so you need 14 to 16 really good positive reviews to outweigh it. You'll still end up in your 4.6 to 4.8 sweet spot. You're good to go. That's the easiest way. Some dental practices find it very hard, very difficult to get their patients, to leave Google reviews, and that's why we have Crusader. Okay, so or if it's not Crusader that you use, maybe you use a different product, whatever. Okay. So the first step in defense is making sure you have 14 to 15 really good reviews for every one that's not so good. You can, on Google, respond to a negative review. Now, if you really feel it's an illegitimate review and you feel you want to respond to it, because you keep getting these things and you think they're for nefarious reasons, again, boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, either direction, political reasons, whatever, then when you feel that way, you have to use some tact. No, you can certainly respond. So, and then the next logical question from the dentist is, well, how do I respond? Well, normally you would ask a question and require a commitment of effort on their part. You would say something like, I'm searching and I can't find you. Would you please contact me at email that you only use for your reviews? And, I'd like to talk to you about your situation. And they will invariably do nothing. And then you just respond that you haven't heard back after a week. And that's it. You just move on. Moving on is always best. Moving on without posting a response is always best.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is get into a flame war with a member of the public, whether it's legitimate or not. I mean, many times the reviewer isn't even part of the practice, has never been to see the dentist.
Exactly.
What are you doing arguing with that dork,
Right. Right. So first step, overwhelm the negative with the positive. And we know 99% of the people listening to this podcast can do that rather easily within the four walls of their practice. So, if you end up in a situation like that, then, you're going to have to respond. You have to defend your turf. Just do it with some savvy. That's all. Question number 2. I think my mail is wearing out. I mail through Clipper locally. Is all mail dead? Well, let's look at some statistics, some very predictable statistics. If you're using Clipper, I think, isn't Clipper that envelope that comes with like 93,000 coupons? Isn't that what Clipper is?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's also goes by a different name in different parts of the country. Valpak.
That's it. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So basically this dentist is calling that direct mail, and they are receiving less return or less calls. And I don't know this for sure. I didn't really speak to this person, but I'm going to assume they're spending the same money. So spending the same money to get less result is normally not a good thing. Normally, I bet you when he or she started that mail campaign, especially if it's in Clipper magazine, because Clipper magazine is nothing but ads, right? Like dollars, it's for shoppers. It's just coupons, right?
Yeah, the medium there dictates the message, and when you're using that kind of a medium, you're basically advertising a deal.
Okay, so right, and they're small. They're kind of small too, right? They're. I apologize for not knowing what the heck I'm talking about here. I do know that I have seen them come to my own home. They're in an envelope. They're in a regular sized envelope, and so it must be the height and the width of the envelope. And there's usually like 30 of them in there, right?
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
And it's all X dollars off on whatever.
Right.
Windshield repair or.
Right. Yeah.
Or
vinyl siding. Yeah. Get your windows replaced.
Yeah.
And get new asphalt for your driveway. Right. So the question is, I think my mail is wearing out. All right. So let me put some statistics to that, because if you promote to the bottom of the market, it is going to wear out. It's going to wear out in an average U.S. market. It's going to wear out 28 to 31 months. If you consistently deploy in the same market to the bottom half of the market, regardless of what you're promoting in, if you are using discounts to drive phone calls, it will begin to wear out in month 28 to 31. So if that's the top of your bell curve, month 28 to 31, you might be 33 months into this project, and you may see what's happening. Or you could be 100 months into this and just waking up and see what's happening. So now the next is I mail through Clipper locally. All right, so that basically tells us your best foot forward is your deal. You have no feet.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that
Right.
what it tells us, Howie? Okay, so
Yeah, it does.
right. So what else would you basically, doctor, you're running out of moms who would choose a healthcare provider based primarily on price, and it probably took you 28 months to 31 months to figure that out.
Yeah, that's a succinct way to put it. Exactly.
Basically. And then the last question with number 2 is all mail dead? Not only no, but hell no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's thriving.
Yeah, your mail is dead. Okay. But no, sorry, I didn't really mean that. Well, I kind of did.
It was mean.
Right, I know it was mean. But no. Actually, what you're doing, doctor, isn't even called mail. It's sort of a piggyback coupon. I wonder what they get for every one of those 50 coupons.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because they're still only spending whatever, to ship the envelope.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the appeal. I mean, way back in the day, it used to be called marriage mail, where you'd get a bunch of businesses around you. You'd all go together and you split the costs, and then it's very inviting because it's so dang cheap. But
okay.
the medium is designed specifically to target the bottom half of the market in the dental world, and that's something we don't recommend.
What? Right. I mean, Well, okay, let's be fair and honest. But we do go after the bottom half of the market for clients who have an immediate need for large volumes of new patient phone calls.
Yeah, that's the exception. Yep.
But we never go through Clipper. We would never do that. Okay, and we would absolutely want to control the targeting ourselves for our clients. Okay,
Yeah.
to minimize their risk, and we would absolutely want to control the size and the design. So. Okay, and we would tell the customer, the client, look, you only have 28 to 31 months to take advantage of this. After that, you will get a declining result in an average U.S. market, period. End of story, okay? So we only use going after the bottom half of the market very temporarily, only for as long as we have to.
Yeah,
okay?
right.
So, all right, so you want to take a break before we do?
Yeah, we have to take a break and hear from our sponsors.
Our sponsors is us, isn't it?
Well, yeah, if we don't take a break to hear from our sponsors, we don't get paid.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
It's bad. We'll be right back. We hope you're enjoying our podcast. Let me ask you, do you have a roadmap for your marketing? Why not let New Patients Incorporated do it for you? Our marketing plans have been proven effective for over 27 years for hundreds of practices across lots of different countries. We will give you the marketing data for your area, a marketing budget. We'll show you how to allocate your budget, and then we will show you the proper deployment strategies for each medium. Click on the header where it says Complimentary Marketing Plan when you go to www.newpatientsincorporated. Okay, we're back. What's our next question, Mark? Something about email frequency.
Here's my next question. When are we going to get some other sponsor to pay us? That's my next question.
Hey, we're working on it here at the Galactic headquarters.
Okay. All right, so question number 3 in the mailbag. How many times should I email my own patients? I don't want to be a spammer. And you know what? That's an excellent, like you wouldn't think that's a revelatory, to use one of your favorite words, a revelatory question, but it is kind of, because how you engage your own patients with email is different than how you engage them visually, which is different with how you engage them with something physical that you can hand them. So this seemingly innocent question actually opens up, it's not Pandora's box, but it opens up a large box for discussion. So I want to address their initial question. How many times should I email my own patients? Now, if we're going to assume that you mean emailing them a promotion about some services that you provide, or some conveniences that you provide, or some technologies that you employ, or what have you. I'm going to assume that that's what you mean, because lots of offices email appointment confirmations every day to everybody that's coming in 3 days from now. Okay, so that's the first thing that I have to separate out here is, I think what we're being asked is, how many email promotions should I send to my patients?
Yeah, or you might call them newsletters, or news about the office and what you provide.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Not confirmations, not recalls. Right.
That's different.
Right. Other promotions. Right. Okay. So if we separate out other promotions, then the answer to your question is 4 times a year. And I know many doctors just went, because they're shocked that I'm not saying every 9 minutes because it's email, okay? Because it's cheap and because I can just do it and just leave the office and not worry about it, right? Well, here's the problem. The problem with doing it too much is if they get too many promotions from you, you actually negate the impact of the emails for confirmation and recalls.
Exactly. They tune you out.
They tune you out. Okay. So you definitely do not want them to tune you out. So you have to minimize it. Now, to follow that up, what should the content be? And this is the other part that overwhelms patients normally from just from the fact that people build newsletters and sell them or give them to dentists, and dentists send them thinking they're doing a good thing, but they're not. Here's the general rule. When you promote to the public, non-patients, strangers, you want to say as many things as you can say about your dental practice as possible within the restriction of size or length. Okay? When you're dealing with your existing patients, the general rule is one thing at a time. And you may be sitting there raising your hand going, yeah, but what about all these newsletter companies? They sell these 4-page, multicolor, multifaceted, multi-index, multi-directory, whatever newsletters, right? I'm like, yeah, well, you can sell anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Existing patients want one spoonful at a time.
Right. I think that, see, the obvious advantage you have is that in mailing to your patient base is that they know you. So when they see, oh, I got something from Dr. Schmedrick here, they're more inclined to read it and pay attention to it.
Right.
But the thing is, you can't abuse that privilege.
Right. You can't abuse the privilege. And when you do deliver something, make it one topic.
Yeah, just one single topic.
So here, let's take the average dentist listening to this. Everybody go grab a pencil and paper. I'm going to map out the next 2 years of your internal email promotion to your existing patients. I'd love for you to say something in an email about pedo or ortho at the end of June, beginning of July. I'd love for you to talk about something about insurance benefits around October. I'd love for you to say something about niche one, whatever niche is, implants, Invisalign, sleep apnea, sedation, pick a niche, any niche. Send it out in January. And in April or May, send out niche number 2. Do that for 2 years. There's your schedule.
Simple.
Okay. The reason why you complicate it is because you believe you need a boatload of information to go to your existing. You don't. Okay. Now, I don't want to be a spammer was part of that question. And the person who asked us that question was actually emotionally, they were running up against the same thought that we're presenting to you here. They themselves thought that doing it more often, it just feels weird, right? Giving them too much information feels odd. Bottom line, for a year, single topics. And when you send them, please have a landing page that they can click on your website and go to. And hey, for extra credit, install concierge onto that page so they can schedule their appointment.
Yes, right there when they're reading it.
That would be nice.
That right? Would be really cool.
Anyway, you get the point, right? Don't just send newsletters out unless the people who are interested can take action. I'll also, there's another tip for you. Don't believe for a second that you're emailing something to your existing patients that only they can take advantage of. For instance, sending an email out about the ability to fix loose dentures with implants to a 35-year-old soccer mom is not a waste of time.
No.
Her mom may live 8 miles away. And her mom may have been bitching and complaining for the last 6 months about her slipping dentures. And soccer mom gets your email and says, hey, mom, look what I got. Forwards it over to her. This is my dentist. See how this works? Right?
Yeah.
So this isn't, you can also use the same content, by the way, on your social media. This doesn't have to be all about email, right? You can coordinate it with your social media as well. So anyway, have we beaten up that question? I think we have.
I think we have.
Okay.
What's this business about the ADA?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. I can't really say a whole lot. So whoever asked this question is probably going to pull the earbuds out of their ears in anger. Here's what I can tell you. I can tell you that New Patients Incorporated and our almost entire team is going to be at the ADA in a very big way, in a very large booth, in very prominent position. We are going.
This is October, correct, in Atlanta?
The American Dental Association annual show is, yes, I believe it's October 19th to the 21st, I think, are the exhibit hours. We have an event coming up, which we don't believe we've ever seen ever happen ever on any trade show floor, let alone the ADA. And you have to be present or know someone who is present in order to take advantage of it. So as the months unfold, I'm sorry, caller, mailbag, responder person. Okay. Whoever you are, as the months unfold, we will let you know what it is. We're going to give everyone the opportunity to sign up for it, whether you can be there or not. We will have plenty of team members to assign your request to should you want to take advantage of it and all that other stuff. But here's the bottom line. Something very big and very bold is happening at the American Dental Association convention in October in Atlanta. And it won't be long until you start seeing stuff about it on our website.
Great.
Okay.
Well, I think that about wraps this edition up. And
well, thank you, Howie. Have you warmed up? I know you're home now.
Oh, yes.
Yes. It's glorious, right? It was glorious sunshine when you drove in this morning.
Yeah. I've got to get a tea time, but that's another story.
That's another story.
Anyway, until next time, we wish you well, and we'll see you soon. Bye. We hope you've enjoyed our podcast today. You can find more podcasts on our YouTube channel, on Stitcher, and iTunes. Also on our websites, dentalwebcontent.com and New Patients Inc.